To build layouts, whether we take inline block or float positioning, it's totally open. We can take any approaches to create a multi-column layouts. But the thing is, our layout must be reusable and flexible. So what are these reusable and flexible layout? A reusable layout consists of modular classes. That class can be reused again and again. For example, right now on our page, we have three different columns. These all three columns has been created just one classes. So here we have just call classes and all the properties and style has been used inside the call classes, so that each and every class is sharing same styles. So this is known as modular classes. A modular classes can be reused again and again. For example, if we need such type of column once again in any section, so we can use that class once again. And we have already learned we can take same class on multiple columns, and at the same time we can take multiple classes on the same elements. Alright, this is all about the reusable layout. So next we have flexible layout. A flexible layout made up of relative units, for example like percentage, em, rem, and the benefit of flexible layout is that it adjusts according to the size of the screen. And the flexible layout consists of flexible container, as well as the column which we make must have a flexible unit, say percentage. So right now as we have created these columns using percentage. So now let's first understand what is flexible container, and then we will see how do we work with percentage. So let's go ahead and understand first container here. Container, sometimes also known as wrapper, that wraps everything else on the page. For example, here on this page right now, we can see that all these contents are contained within a wrapper. No content is flowing outside this container. We can see that again, no content is going outside this limit. Here also, and similarly in rest of the sections. The role of container is to wrap everything else on the page. So let's get rid of this all content for now, and let's have one section, and inside this section we will take a paragraph, dummy text maybe, yeah, lorem ipsum. So let's define a class here, container. Alright, so now let's target container class here, and then we'll apply some width, maybe 1200 px. Alright, so far so good. Now let's check out our page here. Great, our text is white now actually, so we do not see anything here. So let's go ahead and change the text color here from body, yeah, say 2727 and 27. Alright, now check out our page, and every text is aligned center. So let's get rid of this align center, text line center, and check out our page here once again. Right now we have paragraph which is inside a container that we have applied on the section class. So this is how we create container. But there is one more thing, that what container does, it contains each and everything in the middle of the page. So to get each and everything at the center, we use margin 0 auto. So now let's check out our page here. Now we can see our content is from here to here, that is inside our container. And what we have done here to take it in center, we have taken margin 0 auto. So margin 0 will be applied top and bottom, that we don't need. And this auto, what it will does, it will provide automatic margin from left side also and from the right side also. And one condition with the margin 0 auto is that we should always apply margin 0 auto only when the element is having some width. Without applying width, this margin 0 auto will not work, because by default block level elements has width 100%. So this margin 0 auto will not work on the element which will be having width 100%. There is one more thing about the container, is that we should not apply a class container directly to the structure based element which creates the outline. Alright, now let's apply some background color to the container, say maybe here. Now save the file and check out the result here. Now we can see that our container is flowing from here to here with the blue background, and let's change the color also, say white. Now save it. Now you got. Alright, so this is our container now. But the thing is, most of the time we do not want this background should only contain inside the container. It should overflow from here to here. So for that purpose, we never apply container class directly to the structure based element. So we should always keep the container class inside the structure based elements, and we will wrap our content inside the container. So we will keep our content, that is paragraph, inside the div, and this container class will come on div now. Alright, now let's get rid of this container class from here. Now our class container is on the div, so this section is flowing all over from here to here. So therefore we will apply our background color to the section, not to the container. So let's take it from here to here, save it. Alright, now we can see that our container class is containing the actual content inside the structure based elements. So that's how we make use of container classes. Right now we just learned how to create container, but in the layouts we always have a flexible container. Right now we have container, but it is having a fixed width. If we reduce the size of our screen, this container will not reduce according to the screen sizes. So let's check out whether our container is adjusting according to the size of the screen or not. No, it is not adjusting, because we can see here we have one horizontal scroll. So to get a flexible container, we apply max width instead of width. Once we apply max width, now it becomes flexible. What it is saying that our container size will be up to 1200 px. That means the container will reduce below 1200 px, but it will not go beyond the 1200 px. So now if I check out our result here, we can find that our container size is getting reduced, so that our text is also getting adjusted, but it will not go beyond this 1200 px. That's the flexible container here. Most of the time we also find some padding on our container class, that is top and bottom 0 padding and left and right maybe 30 px, so that if you reduce the size of the screen, if the container goes below 1200 px, so that our content should not touch to the edges of the container. So let's check out here. So you can see that our content still has some spaces from the edges of our page. Alright, this is how we work with the container. So now let's understand how we work with the percentages. Percentages are the relative unit in CSS represented by percentage, that we know. Percentage unit work in a relation to another object in a layout. For example, let's say we have a container that we already have here, 1200 px, and inside this paragraph should be taking say almost 50% of this container. So for that purpose we can say that if it is a 1200 px, we can say the paragraph should be having 600 pixel width. So now let's apply to the paragraph say width 600 px. Now save it and check out the result here. Now paragraph is taking 600 pixel width, that is half of the container. So instead of applying in pixel, we will say now in percentage. We will calculate how much width we want to apply, then we can apply that in percentage. And we know that percentage always works in relation to its parent element. So for example, now if we say here 50%, so the paragraph will always take the width 50%, and whether the container reduces or increases, it will always take the 50% of the container size. So if I reduce here, so see the paragraph is always having width 50%, and our container is also reducing because it is flexible. So that's how we work with the percentage and work with the container, and using flexible container and percentage we create flexible layout. With the container class we create container, and with percentage we create flexible columns.